So everything you have ever wanted is on the other side of fear. This is a wonderful quote that I personally also like. So this session is focusing on, fear. What are those reasons, our children are fearful of, and how we can help them to overcome those fears. So basically, we don't know what is fear. Actually, fear is an emotion, and it is a data which is, trying to tell us that there is something danger coming ahead, or maybe, there is something is there which is harmful for us. So basically, it is an unpleasant emotion usually caused by the thought of threat, danger, pain, or harm. So young children, or we can say preteens or even teenagers, have more fears and phobias than adults and experience their emotions of them more intensely. However, we can say, some fear which are present in childhood may vanish as we grow up, right? So too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. So basically, this session is for educators and teachers who can train their children, train their students that they need to overcome their fear, because it is very important, first of all, to get aware of their fear, what are their fears, and why they have stuck in their life, and why they cannot overcome those fears. Because if we won't, then this fear will turn into phobia soon, right? So I'll talk about most common fears among children. So being alone is one of the most common fear which we can find in, babies, toddlers, children, and preteens also. Dogs, it can be stray dog, it can be pet dog, or some other animals, right? Darkness is something, if we ask children, so, the age group between, we can say 5 to 10, they are afraid of darkness. Ghosts or imaginary monsters, we can hear a lot of stories of ghosts and imaginary monsters from small children, 5 to 8 or 5 to 9 years old. Then enclosed spaces. Many children, not only children, but adults are also afraid of those enclosed spaces like elevators, right? Even I am afraid of that. However, I'm trying hard to get out of that. Then flying. Some people are afraid of flying. Getting sick is one of the most common fear. And, many times parents are also afraid of, when their children fall sick. Having a parent, sibling, or pet get sick or hurt. So basically, we humans are afraid of losing someone we love, right? It can be our parents, it can be our children, it can be our, sibling, friend, or pet in our house. Some people and children are afraid of heights, some are afraid of fire, and stage fear is one of the most common thing. Like children are afraid of, speaking publicly, and even in classroom also, some children are afraid of talking in front of their classmates also. And exams, children are afraid of exams also. Many times, even if they are prepared, well prepared, then also something happens, and that fear of exam, kind of dominate everything else and hijack their brain, and they become blackout when they are sitting in the examination hall. So they need to overcome this fear so that they may face, exams and all those challenges in their life. So it is very important to, overcome such kind of fear. If children are afraid of taking challenges, taking risk, and appearing in exams or interviews or mock tests, right? These are few steps which we can tell our children that these, if you will take efforts, if you will, learn these steps, you can get out of those fears. Take time out to distract yourself. So whenever you are scared of something, you need to distract your mind. You need to get involved in some other thing. Like if you are scared of something, you need to do some, something reverse or opposite. You can go and play. You can watch some movie or a comedy movie. You can talk to your parent. You can talk to your friend, or you can play with someone, right? Then second is self-regulation, means managing emotions. So this is something which will come after a lot of practice. You will you will be able to regulate your emotion once you will learn this method, once you will get skilled up. So managing emotion is a very important thing. How you can manage? The basic thing I will tell here, that you can manage your emotions simply by sharing your emotion, by accepting whatever you are feeling. Like, when you name it, you tame it. Okay. Then deep breathing definitely helps. Whenever we are scared of something, our heart rate also increases. So at that moment, we can, simply do this breathing activity, breathing exercise. If the children are unable to do this, they can start with, simple 1 minute breathing exercise, and gradually they can increase their time. Face your fears. We need to tell our students that they must face their fears. Okay, they must acknowledge that this is my fear and I need to, face it. Then imagine you're facing the fear, and ask yourself, close your eyes and just imagine that my fear is in front of me. Then ask yourself, what worst can happen? What is the worst thing that will happen? But if whether your fear is killing you, is it taking away your life? Ask this question to yourself, and then look at the evidence, that how many times it has happened. Somebody's scared of something, and that fear has taken his or her life. Are there any evidences like this? So go through that. Then visualize a happy place, or visualize yourself being happy. Visualize yourself facing your fear. Okay. Talk about your fears to someone reliable. As I told that, sharing our emotion is very important. So sharing about your fear is also very important. Sometimes we have seen that, children and even adults don't share their fears with everyone, because they might feel that people will make fun of them. But it is not like that. Everyone in this whole world has some or the other fear. So we must share our fear with someone, like your mother, mother or father. They are the person who will never make fun of you. Okay, so go to them and share whatever you have to share. Then be patient. These are practices, when you will do it regularly, then you will be able to overcome your fear. So you need to be patient. It's not like that you will overcome your fear in 1 or 2 days. It will take time. Okay. Then inhale courage and exhale fear. So whenever you are doing that breathing exercise, feel that you are inhaling the courage and you are exhaling the fear. Okay, so these are some of the techniques which will, help you to overcome your fear. So do share these steps with your students. Then this is an activity, or you can, have a lot of discussion after when they complete this activity. These questions, they need to write these questions. So you can have a printout, or simply they can write on the piece of a paper. Like, first one is, how do I feel when I'm scared of something? So all those feelings, which come along with the emotion of fear. Like when I'm fearful, I feel nervous, right? I feel terrible, right? I feel like crying also. There might be different emotions for different people. How do I react when I'm fearful? So what is my reaction? Whether I get angry, or whether, I hide myself somewhere. So there might be different things for different people again. Why cannot I face my fears? What is the problem? If I'm afraid of speaking in public, why cannot I face it? Why I'm not overcoming this particular fear? Maybe this is the particular thing which is the hurdle, in my success. So I need to face my fear. Okay. What can I do to fight my fear? So simple, all those steps, they can pick up any of that step which they like, which we have discussed earlier. So whatever steps they are taking should be suitable for them, right? What is the opposite of fear? Of course, we all know the opposite of fear. And why I have asked this question? Because, whenever we see that word, what is the opposite of fear? Whenever we read that word, it will give some kind of, power, we can say, or some kind of boost up that, yes, I have to fight my fear. And I am courageous. That's why I need to fight with my fear. Okay. Is it so difficult to give away my fear to God and feel relaxed and calm? So this is the question, you can ask to your student, that, whenever we feel uncertain in our life, or whenever we have bigger problem in our life, what we do? We pray to God, right? We give all our insecurities, we give all our, whatever the feeling, bad feeling is, whatever the pain is, we ask the God to take away all those things. So simply we can ask God also, we can pray and we can ask the God that please take away my fear, and feel relaxed and calm, and just believe that He is doing His work. Just believe that the universe is listening to you, and just feel that your fear is getting vanished or disappear, right? So this was all for today's session. I hope you liked the session. Next week, I'll come again with another topic of social emotional learning, which will be, very helpful for our children and our teenagers. So stay tuned. Thank you.